Hi, it's Jaylene. I'm here with Ryan. We're with the Clausen team, and I thought it would be a fun experience to actually have meet the team, which I think is actually, it's good to know who the people you're working with, don't you think?
Definitely, for sure.
Definitely, for sure, right? So tell me something. So Ryan, you've been investing in real estate for quite a while now, honestly. And I think your experiences definitely speak to it on how you look at real estate from an investment standpoint and how you know that this is going to grow and build the legacy of your family.
Definitely.
How long have you been in real estate now?
Man.
When did you start? So start with that. Yeah.
So I made my career in retail banking. I did everything under the sun for Bank of America. I left in 2020 looking back on it now, probably the craziest time to just jump out like that. But they also call it the Great Resignation. I'm a survivor of the Great Resignation.
You are a survivor of the Great Resignation. Actually, and that's not a bad thing.
It's not at all. I'm very proud of it.
I think it honestly, during that period of time, it allowed individuals to figure out what they want to do in life and be happy while doing it.
Definitely.
Maybe not sometimes you're not always happy, but you know what? I mean, that is critical to the success of your future.
For sure.
So you bought your first property in
Fort Worth, Texas.
In Fort Worth, Texas.
In December of 2020.
Do you know that's where my grandparents met? Is in Fort Worth, Texas?
Hey, everything good comes from Texas.
All right, so you clearly get he is from Texas, so that is a good thing.
From Dallas, to be exact.
So you bought the first property there in Fort Worth, Texas, and what was the process that you went through? Because I know about it, but tell our viewers.
Yes, so I always knew that real estate was going to be my thing. As I was, coming up, I just didn't really know exactly what that looked like or how I would get to it. I bought a course, actually. Like they always say, you need to invest in yourself. I bought this course. It was this guy who was he has been doing it for like 20 years, but he had just started a course. It was called Make Real Estate Real by a guy named Jamal King out of Chicago.
Nice.
He goes by the 9 to 5 millionaire on Instagram. So obviously, you see something like that.
You see something like that, and it captures.
You start paying attention to it.
Yeah.
But I bought that course. I learned tidbits, little tricks of the trade. Basically, paid him for 20 years worth of knowledge. Right. Long story short, I start to look for investment properties. I knew I wanted to flip. So I found it was a complete shack. Just run down. Like, it probably wasn't safe to even walk into, but I found this property in Fort Worth, Texas, and I paid all cash for it. And this was right before the world shut down.
Right.
So I got it for $30,000 cash.
Okay.
Which is a steal.
That is a good bargain. I absolutely agree. Did you have a lot of fear going into that purchase?
I did, but knowing what I know now, not as much as I should have.
Okay. Okay.
And that's just being real. I didn't know what I didn't know, but I just knew I was ready. I wanted something different. I was ready for a change. Because again, I left my job of 8 years. Wow. I had a new baby, and I was just ready to rock and roll.
And you were all in.
I knew I was going to figure it out, so I just went for it.
Good for you. Good for you. So what happened with that property?
Well, that property was a flop.
It's okay. You know what? You learn.
You do learn. You learn.
I'm proud of you for doing it.
But I think I find solace in the fact that it wasn't a flop because, I was the top guy, so I didn't know, like I just mentioned, I just didn't know enough. And one of the main things that I didn't know that ended up wrecking it was not knowing how to properly vet contractors or even what I needed to know or what I needed from my contractor. Okay. So it was a long process. Like I said, the world shut down with COVID. Permitting took over a year.
It did.
It was, everything that could have gone wrong with this property did. To make a long story short.
It's okay.
But
I think you learn from your mistakes. I am a huge advocate for learn from your mistakes, grow from them, move on. And what's your goal this year?
Well, that was about
2024.
a $40,000 mistake.
But
the way I look at it is, I could have paid a guru for that hands-on training, or I'm a
hands-on person, and that's how you learn,
I'm a doer.
Right? Yeah.
I'm a trial and error type of guy, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah,
so
as long as you get your fingers into it and you're doing it, then that's how you learn.
I will figure it out. I
agree
that about everything.
That's literally how I think as well, too.
But to your other question for this year, so for 2023,
yes.
I have a successful flip under my belt
Yes, you
now.
do. Yes, you do.
So
You
it's
did
not
great.
all a failure. It was my primary residence. We touched on that in another video. But yeah, I ended up selling that house, and because I occupied it for a certain amount of time, I got to keep all the profits. So everything I lost, I got back and then some. I essentially, after leaving Bank of America in 2020, I made more than what I would have made working there over 3 years.
Isn't that funny? How you actually have tripled your, you did. You tripled your corporate salary.
I did.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And this coming year for 2024, I know that we've talked about it. And if you have an investment property that you're looking to get rid of, Ryan's waiting.
Always buying, definitely.
He is looking. He is on the hunt. That is for sure. And I think that's exciting. I'm excited to see what this next year holds. I know that's something that I have personally wanted to touch into, especially with Scott. So having his contractor mindset is going to be a big plus.
It is.
That's going to be a big plus for all of us.
Your network is your net worth. Her husband, Scott, one of our fearless leaders on the Clausen team, has a background of, 20 plus years?
Of construction.
In commercial construction.
Construction. So
shameless plug for ourselves. If you're an investor and you see this, we got what you need.
We got what you need. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today.
No problem.
I appreciate it. Have a great day, you guys.